This is the Nerdy Nomicon.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm Robbie.
I'm Brooke.
And I'm Adrian.
You know what? Let's not bury the lead. Let's get right into some geek news. The very first thing I want to talk about is we've just gotten the very first look at the new Pennywise the Clown for the remake of It. Have you guys taken a look at that yet?
I don't like to look at clowns in general because of those creepy clowns that were just like hanging out around different towns.
Dude, that's been a phenomenon for a while now, and it still is creepy.
Yeah, it's still going on. That's the worst thing. So I don't look at clowns in general unless I'm at the circus, and I am not at the circus.
None of us are at the circus. We're in the podcasting studio
we
right
could be
now.
at the circus. They don't know where we live.
Well, they don't hear the do 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 do
You
do.
think they play that 24/7? You think people in the circus just have to play that song 24/7?
Yes, yes.
Like, you know there are still circus. Like you think the Cirque du Soleil people do that
In the
all day?
background, I think it's hidden into the tracks for their giant, like, nimble. Look at me, I'm a mongoose
you don't
thing.
know what they do at all.
I know what they do. They
What
do.
do they
They
do
do the
with
flips and the twists
Just using the whistles. No,
and the bells.
A lot of them are-
They paint their faces.
so a lot of them are. So
Some are naked.
They can only perform with that music pumped into their in-ear monitors.
I didn't know.
Everything else is you're hearing different music outside,
Oh,
but if they played the music that you're hearing for them over their in-ear monitors, they'd just mess it all up.
I'm surprised there's not more clown-on-clown murder then.
No, there's very little clown-on-clown crime.
I mean, I can only name one actual person who was a clown who murdered people.
Oh yeah, John Wayne Gacy.
He was a good clown. He did excellent work as a clown and as a serial killer.
And as a murderer. Yeah.
And, I mean, he did have a high murder rate. It was good for him.
Getting back on topic to the killer clown at hand.
There are many a killer clown. Hey, I think he looks fine. I don't like that he's wearing a dress. That really bothers me.
I don't know. I think the old-timey look,
He's
like
wearing a skirt.
it's not a skirt. It's frills.
It's actually called a
petticoat? Were you going to say a petticoat?
No,
Because it's not a petticoat.
no,
it's
it's
frills. It's like the pirate shirt
on.
from Seinfeld.
It's called a plimpet or something like that. I can't say it, but it's an actual type of like shirt.
Like a girdle?
No, Robbie, it's not like a girdle.
Oh. Because that's not a girdle.
It's a girly outfit. I think it's like weird that he's like a cross-dresser. I don't know. I don't think he looks that scary. I think the old Pennywise was way scarier.
You think that the Tim Curry Pennywise was scarier than what we just saw there? Well, I've only seen a still, so I'm not really going to weigh in on that because Tim Curry did haunt my nightmares. But that's also for more than just Pennywise.
Clowns because my dentist. Now think about this. My dentist was obsessed with clowns. So literally growing up, my dentist had an entire dentist office filled with clowns. Now imagine if your two fears are the dentist and clowns. Like that place would be hell. That would be your nightmare. That would be your nightmare.
I have to agree with her. I feel like it looks like every part of him is wearing a dress. Like not just the actual torso, but like his wrists have little dresses and his shoulders have little dresses and his like
ruffly.
shins.
It's a very ruffly look.
Yes.
It's very ruffly.
Yeah,
actually,
come
you know what he
on,
looks like?
guys.
Have you ever seen Babes in Toyland with Keanu Reeves?
Of course I have. I'm a human being.
Okay, do you remember like the two clowns like that were like the love clowns that ran around?
Well, first off, the sentence "love clowns" should never be uttered.
No, they
ever.
they were a boy clown and a girl clown.
I know who they
kissed the whole
were,
time. It was
but
really sweet.
the love clowns just sounds horrifying. But yes, I do know who
That's
you're
what
talking
he looks
about.
like. He looks like those people.
All right, that just kind of ruined Babes in Toyland for me a little
I
bit
love
too.
Babes in Toyland. What a good movie! Talk about an underrated classic. I'm sure Keanu Reeves is gonna be thrilled we're talking about that movie. Like I'm sure he's like so excited.
Well, petticoats and frills aside, I don't know. I kind of like the look of them. This is making me even more excited for this remake. I mean, this is something I've wanted to see for a while now.
I hope they don't add the sewer gangbang.
Dude, Stephen King should have left that out.
They're like 12-year-olds and they all have sex with each other. I'm like, that's weird.
This will bind us all together. Spoiler alert for a book that came out, like 3 decades ago? This book is older than any of us here.
So I don't think it can really... Also, that book is literally like big enough to if you hit somebody with it would hurt them.
Oh, God, yeah. The hardcover is Assault with a Deadly Weapon.
I actually don't love Stephen King. I think he's prolific and I think he's incredibly talented, but my God, that man can go on about a bitch. And that'll be a emotional rant for another day. But my God, that guy can go on about a bitch. I don't care that it's different shades of blue. No one needs 6 pages to describe the color blue. Continue.
I'm kind of disappointed by the zoomed out still. Like they have a close up on the face,
right?
And it really looks like he's like a clown Dark Lord of the Sith. Like he's got the whole like orange eyes going on.
He's got the Darth Maul thing rocking.
Yeah. He totally looks like if Darth Maul was like a failed party clown and then decided that he was going to go conquer the universe.
I want to make a Funny or Die sketch.
Yeah, to like deal with his failure. He's going to go murder everyone. But yeah, but then you zoom out and it's look, it's dresses upon dresses.
Yeah, you know what?
Lovely.
I'm still excited about it. It's not that I don't see what you guys are talking about. I do, but I'm still excited for it.
Well, that's your fault for being
But
excited.
yeah, this close-up does kind of have a little bit of a Darth Maul thing going on. This is definitely Phantom Menace-esque.
You're not even looking at a picture of it.
It's right down there.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, that's a picture of Adrian Steve that you're looking at.
That's actually not a picture of Adrian.
It's not a picture of Adrian Steve.
That's a dude with a guitar.
Well, how am I
So-
supposed to know that?
Have you been listening to the show?
Yes.
Well, you
She
should
didn't
remember
really
it.
listen to Polygon Table.
Oh, I didn't listen to Polygon Table because I listen to Robbie talk all day. I don't need to listen to it at work and at school and on my drive.
So you just tune him out during the podcast, and you just wait for his mouth to stop moving, and then you talk. Is that?
Never stop talking.
Her exact word to me basically was a paraphrase of Kevin Smith's wife. Okay.
Yeah.
She actually said to me, and I quote, "Listen, baby, I'm not really a part of the Robbie Palmer demographic." Well, you married me. Yeah, but if I wanted to listen to you bitch about comic books, video games, and movies for 2 hours, I'd just turn to my left.
Yeah, it's true. I don't need to listen to it. Now I'm doing it with him, so I think he tricked me, is my general thought.
Yeah, sucker.
Yeah, I know, right? He genuinely tricked me.
So from apparently the look of a Sith Lord clown over to a show that once had a twisted clown on it, don't you have some information about American Horror Story?
Yeah, okay, so it premieres on September 14th, which for those of you who can count is 12 days from now.
Well, from the recording.
Whatever. I don't understand how time works. Anyways, they still have not released what the theme is. There's not a single trailer that isn't a teaser. And I don't know if they're just going to if they go into the next season without anyone having any idea what it's about, I think that'd be brilliant. I really do. They never tell anyone until the first episode premieres, and then we're all like, oh my God, that's what it's about? That's what I think they're going to do, which I think would be really brilliant.
I actually kind of agree with that.
I think that'd be really smart. And I'm glad that they're starting in September, because they usually start in October. So then by the time the season's done, it's almost Christmas, and you're like, this is weird. I
Yeah.
don't want to be watching about killer vampires having orgies anymore. I'm bored of this. But I'm glad they're starting in September, because now it's by the time they're done, it'll be only October. It'll only be Halloween. So
Right.
That's my general thought.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that too. The
But-
twisted Santa killer guy thing that they had in season 2, although
Asylum, yeah.
that was interesting, but I don't know. I could have done without twisted killer evil Santa.
That's just Silent Night, Deadly Night. And
Exactly.
That was a movie that came out in the 80s. It didn't need to be remade.
Punish.
Punish. That's right. That's right.
Oh,
I-
or Krampus, which they just came out with, which is getting its own haunted house at
It
Universal
is.
Horror Nights.
It is indeed.
Which, if listeners out there, Robbie's dream in life is to go to the Universal Horror Haunted Nights. So I'm gonna if you want to send $50 for Robbie to do that, he'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a Kickstarter to fund his dream to go to the Universal Horror Nights.
Yeah, that's gonna be like my Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah.
thing.
Only
I was gonna say you could just get cancer. That might be your ticket.
I thought I was past the age threshold for the Make-A-Wish.
You are. There is an adult version though called the Dream Foundation, and I only know that because of an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians from 6 years ago.
So what the hell was Kim Kardashian's dream? Didn't she already have her dreams
It was actually
made?
Bruce Jenner who was doing it, and
You mean Caitlyn Jenner at this point?
at the time it was Bruce, and now Caitlyn. I apologize. I apologize, listeners. It was Caitlyn Jenner at the time.
Yeah, but
She
isn't
was
Caitlyn
Bruce.
turning back into Bruce?
I don't know. I don't care about their lives. The point of the matter was I heard about it through them.
But Robbie,
Oh.
don't ask her about
I may not-
timelines.
I
She doesn't know how time works.
I don't know
doesn't-
how time works.
This coming from a Whovian. I'm so disappointed.
That would make time even less linear if you watch Doctor Who. Because
That's
he changes
true.
all sorts of nonsense.
yeah, he changes the
And in
timeline.
fact, 2 Who's go and hang out with River Song at one point. So I'm just saying.
And multiple Who's do multiple things on one episode.
Yeah, they all save Gallifrey. Spoiler!
Yep.
For those
Spoiler
of you
alert.
Who haven't seen the Matthew Smith season.
So going from...
And then he shows up, the 12th Doctor, with his war eyebrows, and you're like, yeah! Or is it the 13th Doctor?
13th. I
Sorry,
think.
13th. Sorry, I'm a bad Whovian. And then he shows up, and you're
9,
like,
10, 11...
no, it was 12.
No, it's 12.
I was right.
It's 12, yeah.
Don't make me... You
Peter
were
Capaldi is the
counting
12.
War Doctor.
Original Doctor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're counting
War
War
Doctor.
Doctor.
Yep.
Like, he's called the War Doctor.
Yes, he is the War Doctor. That would make him 13. That just
I
shifts
like
all
how
of their
he
numbers.
was the oldest actor, and yet he seemed like they did a good job casting because he seemed
Very
like
much
the
so.
youngest guy on that show.
Very much
And
so.
I think Matthew Smith is young enough to be his grandson,
I think so, actually.
and yet he seemed younger than both.
The
It was
puppy dog doctor.
So good.
So going from American Horror Story to talking about horror in general, this is an article that just came out on comicbook.com. I did not realize how well horror movies have been doing in the last couple of years, because horror has been kind of a dying, and as you, Brooke, would call it, an extremely lazy genre
I hate horror.
for probably the last 20 years or so. But this year alone, horror movies have crushed almost every single film that's come out, with the exceptions of Batman v Superman, Civil War, and Suicide Squad.
Well, here's why, and this is the thing. Horror may be a lazy genre, but it's the only genre that doesn't keep remaking itself or doing sequels. So I think people are like, ooh, something new. It may suck, but at least it's not the 14th Ninja Turtles movie. I couldn't think of something.
But at the same time, I mean, the reviews are also crushing it too. Apparently, The Conjuring 2 is fantastic.
Lights Out is supposed to be great. Don't Breathe.
Breathe is a critical
It got 80
and
and
fan
86 on
darling.
Yeah, it's supposed to be amazing. I think it's because people feel the same way that I do, is that, like, I'm sorry, you can only write the same horror movie so often before you gotta be like, okay, we gotta write something else, guys. Like,
and leave it to Sam Raimi to do so.
Sam Raimi's a genius.
He really is. Homeboy with the Evil Dead, with
Ash and the Evil Dead. When does that start back up?
That starts back up
Personal
in October.
Conversation. We'll talk about that later. Personal conversation.
That starts back up in October. So I just thought that was a fun little tidbit. And the last bit of news that I want to talk about has to do with an upcoming review, simply because Yoga Hosers just premieres today, as far as the day of the recording. And I cannot wait to get into the theater and see this movie. I've been excited about this since I found out about it. Basically what it is two teenage girls would do anything to get invited to a senior party. And then
this
they
is
find
a Kevin
out.
Smith film, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Smith, personal hero. Then they find out that there is an evil Nazi doctor working on raising an army of the damned below the convenience store that they work in.
Makes sense.
And this army of the damned is essentially foot-tall bratwurst Nazis called the Bratzis.
I think Kevin Smith has lost his mind. I love him. I listen to all of his podcasts. Well, I listen to some of his podcasts because I don't care about all of them. But he's a genius, but I think he's losing his mind.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like Ghoulies to me to a degree.
I don't know what that word means.
It's like Clueless meets Ghoulies.
What is Ghoulies? You're saying that like that's something we should know.
It is something you should know. Ghoulies is a great movie. It's not. It's actually terrible. All right, how about Clueless meets Gremlins?
I love Gremlins.
Right?
He's my kitty cat.
Yeah, it's also the name of our group.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay. Adrian Steve has not chimed in.
Not at all.
You're talking about stuff that I don't know. I'm trying to I was waiting for pauses to insert fake news jokes, but it just was not. I was going to tell you, now I already gave up that it was fake. I was going to be like, hey, looping back around American Horror Story, I'm surprised you guys haven't heard what the theme is. It was leaked. It's brunch. The theme is brunch.
I would buy that.
You know what?
Awesome.
With Brian Murphy at the helm, I would totally buy that.
I'm tired.
Brunch with Tiffany. I could see that. So what I wanted to talk to, the last bit of news that I've got here is, along with the release of Yoga Hosers, Yahoo has approached Harley Quinn Smith to interview her dad. Harley Quinn Smith being the star of Yoga Hosers and the daughter of Kevin Smith. And one of the questions that she asked him was, who has been your favorite actor or actress to work with? And his answer was immediately you, being his daughter. But the reason wasn't for what you think. Everybody would probably assume that it would be just because, you're my daughter. Of course you're my favorite
Really
one to work
quickly,
with.
he literally tells this story this week on Hollywood Babylon.
Really?
Kevin Smith literally tells this story.
Well, talk about topical.
I just saw that. I think that's really funny.
I didn't even hear this week's episode of that.
Yeah, I think
but
that's funny.
I digress. The reason for him saying that his daughter is his favorite person to work with is simply because he had given up caring what anybody thought of his movies. It was almost like me versus them going against the critics. Like, I'm going to make something, they're going to try to destroy me for it. It is what it fucking is. And basically everything he was doing was a giant middle finger to the critics, to the masses at whole. If you were a Kevin Smith fan, chances are you might like it, but it was basically he was making a film battle against the critics. And the minute that he put Harley in one of his latest movies, Tusk, the day he was done filming, he just had an epiphany. He had a revelation, and he went home and talked with his wife and said, "You know what? I think this girl really made the change in me. I care what I do again. I need to be a better director and a better filmmaker because of her. That way I can make her proud, and that way I can help her be an actress." I mean, she was the missing component. and both of them burst into tears. And I thought that was a really sweet story. I mean, it's
really sweet when he tells it. Like it's
not
really,
as sweet when I tell it.
Well, it's his story about his kid. I mean, if you were telling a story about Max, it'd be way more.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it would.
But no, I wasn't trying to make fun of you. I just think it's so funny because I just listened to him tell this story.
I didn't even hear that episode yet.
And it was really sweet.
Yeah, very poignant. But I just thought that was really, really cool. Hold on just a second.
I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
He'll be back down momentarily. He just lost his binky.
Oh. So this is the part, if you're not going to cut it, where we'd normally say really nice things about her behind her back.
I think we should do that.
She puts up with you. I mean, that's number one.
Yeah, that's certainly true. She's also a hell of a writer. That girl is a hell of a content creator.
She does not ever seem to be at a loss for words. She can carry this podcast like you wouldn't believe.
She really is. I've been working so hard on getting her on the mic for a while. She really can carry a show. I mean, she's got a lot of natural charisma.
I feel like you just agreed with what I said without natural charisma. Okay, yeah, I can go with that one. She must be hot as shit for you to have settled down with her.
She is. She really, really is.
What?
Huh?
Nothing here.
Okay, I'm not listening. I'm back.
Hey.
I'll let her listen to the raw feed before I cut.
Okay, what are we talking about now?
Well, now we're out of the news.
Out of the news and into the
reviews.
That's my song.
Adrian, you've got something that you want to talk about today,
I like
right?
that. Out of the news, into the reviews.
Out of the news, into the reviews. Fuck the news. It's time for the reviews.
Before we go into the reviews, I want to say there was one other interjection that I almost made. And it was in the middle of one of your news stories. And I wanted to cut you off because you said it was a story from comicbook.com.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, of course, comicbook.com, your source for news.
Yeah.
Of course
you remember that.
Yours and mine, of course.
Yes. But I didn't because you were on a roll.
I get my news.
Oh, dude, dude, just interrupt me. Say, hey, you piece of shit, shut your fat fucking mouth. Jump in here.
I get my news from BuzzFeed because I really think it's important to my everyday life. 15 ways to wear Game of Thrones on your nails.
I've not seen one come out of you.
Oh, I don't do it. I know how to in case that ever comes up, which I do see being a life or death situation in the future. So I'm prepared.
Yeah, when the zombie apocalypse happens, that may or may not.
When
save
I have
you.
my Lannister nails, they'll be like, "Oh, we can't fuck with her. She has Lannister nails," and I'll be like, "What are you doing?"
I'm singing the Reigns of Castamere here.
Oh, I was like, "That's not the theme song." You know what? Let's not sing that.
I could do it though.
No,
I could continue.
Could not also do that.
I could not, or I could continue.
But anyways, our 57 ways Harry Potter is the best thing ever, and I agree with all 57 of them. Or 57 things that'll make a Harry Potter fan cry, and I did. Like the whole for George Weasley, every mirror is the Mirror of Erised.
That's depressing.
That gets you.
That does.
That gets you if you're a Harry Potter fan.
But fuck the news. Let's get into the reviews.
News to reviews. Okay.
I can't do BuzzFeed. Because I feel like when they have the 57, at least 52 of them are phoned in.
Oh, absolutely, agree.
Reasons Harry Potter is the best thing ever. It's like, the actors ate cake on set. Everyone likes cake. It's like, what?
I buy that. You're like, yep. Well, they once ranked all of the Game of Thrones actors and guys in terms of hotness, and I did not agree with their list.
Really?
Well, they put Ramsay really low, and you don't have to like Ramsay, but the actor, because I love Simon.
Yeah, he's good
Misfits,
looking.
Is so because he's beautiful because he plays Simon in Misfits, which that's a mind fucker.
Did you write a letter to the editor?
I didn't because I just continued living my life.
Yeah.
I just watched Misfits instead and was like, oh, Simon, because You agree with me. Simon and Alicia don't make sense. And then they do.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone who watches The Misfits will get that, which is a British TV show about juvenile delinquents with magic powers.
Not the punk band, apparently.
No.
No, it's a British TV show about a bunch of juvenile delinquents that get superpowers. And then my favorite line is I'm very upset that a bunch of juvenile delinquents didn't think to use their powers to commit crime. Best fucking show. It's so good. It's so good.
That sounds really good. How long has it been on? How many episodes?
It was 5 seasons.
Oh, okay. So it's not okay.
It was was like 4 seasons. No, it was 5 because it was 3 with the original crew, 2 with the other people.
Yeah, it was 5.
Rudy was on from 3 to 5, and
Yep,
then there's
and
only like 6 episodes each season, so it's like 30 episodes. But it's like one of those binge-worthy shows. It's on Hulu, and I suggest everyone to watch it. The only thing I have to tell you though is if you've seen Game of Thrones, it might be hard because the guy who plays Ramsay is the main character in the Misfits, and he's the best guy. Like he is.
Oh, he's fucking awesome.
Simon is like the greatest character ever, and you just feel for Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You
I
really
know I
do.
do.
But for
It's
me,
hard.
I had seen Ramsey first before I saw Simon, so it was difficult for me.
It was the opposite for me because I had seen Misfits first, and then to see Ramsay, I was like, "But Simon, why?
Right?
I love you, Simon."
And for me, I'm seeing Simon and I'm going, "What you doing, love? Get away from him. Get away from him. What are you thinking? No.
But then he's awesome.
And
for reasons that I won't spoil for people in case you haven't seen it, but like Robbie wants to be Simon, but parts of Simon. They want to be parts of Simon. So
Yes.
watch it.
That's true.
Enjoy it. That's a little thing from me to you is Misfits, man.
Okay, that sounds good. We might have to look into that.
Do it. It's on
It's
Hulu.
really good.
Whole series.
It's
is on
really, really
Hulu.
good, dude.
So the series that we've been watching recently, it's just started up a couple weeks ago. Actually, I think they're almost through the first season already. They're not doing a ton of episodes. It's on a little independent network. I don't think anyone's really heard of it. It's called HBO.
Oh, I have heard of that somewhere.
It's got its own box office, I've heard.
Yeah. It's like you had the box office out there, but then you brought it home.
It's not
think.
TV. It's HBO, from what I've heard.
Yes.
I've heard people say this.
And you can take it on the go sometimes.
But what if you want HBO now?
Yeah. Good.
You're just gonna have to wait.
Touche.
But
so what is the series?
So Tavy and I, we really liked this old series that was on HBO starring Danny McBride called Eastbound and Down.
Love Eastbound and
That's
Down.
a good show.
Fantastic show. So he's coming out with a new one, or has come out with a new one, called Vice Principals. And it's interesting because I really thought I'd be into it because of Danny McBride. But Danny McBride just plays Danny McBride and everything, and that's great because that's what you want to see. You don't want to see Danny McBride doing, a true Shakespeare or anything like that. You want to see Danny McBride
really
cursing at people and tossing up the middle finger and being a dick.
Now I do want to see Danny McBride and like John C. Reilly doing like King Lear, just because that would be hilarious.
That would be one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sorry, not meant to digress, but I would genuinely pay money.
It would be surreal, but if you can make it funny, but if they were actually trying to do it serious, it might be a little strange.
Well, no, I would have to be played for a laugh, but I think it would be really, really funny.
Oh yeah. So, but yeah, the idea behind the show is Danny McBride and this other fellow are both vice principals at this high school, and the principal is stepping down to take care of his wife or something. She's sick.
Is that the name of this show? I don't think you actually said what the name was.
But yeah, so the principal steps down, and they're vice principals, and they both want the job, so they're kind of competing with each other. And then I feel it's not really a spoiler because it happens the first episode, but they end up bringing in an outside hire, and so they both kind of team up against her and get into hijinks. And there's been some really good special effects in some of the episodes. You get into a bunch of crazy shit. It looks like it would have been really fun to work on if you're either of the two main characters, because they just get to go nuts and break things all the time. Like it's just like you get to be a hooligan. It sounds fantastic.
That does sound good.
The guy who steals the show, which I would have sworn it would have been Danny McBride, is his co-star, which is Walton Goggins. He plays the other vice principal, Lee Russell. And he's just got like a lot of character to him.
Yeah, that's the guy from The Shield, right?
I have no idea, but
Fair enough.
It's very possible. I don't watch that much. I actually kind of live in a cave a lot of the time, and then I leave my cave to go work in another cave.
Yeah.
And then you leave other said cave to come on a podcast.
Yes,
and read from the Nerdynomicon with us.
Which I don't think you understand. Like it is literally pitch black in my room right now, except for my computer screen and the small scant like sunbeams that are trailing in through my closed blinds. Like it is dark and it is cold, and I fucking love it.
We have soft pink lighting, which just makes everyone look beautiful. We have soft pink lighting.
It's
in here.
true, but I'm sorry. I need to go back to Smeagol over here. Really, you really are like a cave dweller with the accommodations that you've created for yourself. I'm just picturing Gollum here, bro.
I like to pretend that no one else exists after work. I don't know if,
I think we all can agree with that.
so other than, of course, my loved ones. But
And us.
yeah, I said loved ones.
Aww.
Aww.
This is Walton Goggins. I've seen this guy on stuff.
Yeah. He had...
In Community, he plays the guy who gives
he was
them
on
their
Community.
whatchamacallits.
Yep, he was Shane on The Shield. I believe he was in Hateful Eight.
I don't know. I've never seen Hateful Eight.
Highly recommend it.
Awesome. Well, the movie that Brooke and I want to discuss with you guys today is a small independent film that came out over the summertime. It's called Suicide Squad.
Very small, very independent, shoestring budget.
Tiny budget.
Actors, big actors who just really cared about the project, I think.
But no, I mean, this movie definitely had a huge fucking budget, and let me tell you, it spent all of that budget and all of a couple of other movies' budgets on the soundtrack.
Honestly,
more
no,
than
it
anything
didn't.
else.
It didn't. It's a Warner Brothers movie. Warner Brothers Music owned all of
No
that music.
shit,
Yeah.
really?
They probably didn't spend anything on music. They're probably like, we
Whoa.
own this.
All right,
so-
you know what? Honestly, I'm just taking a look at the amount of musics that they,
Brothers
songs
music.
that they had for the opening montage there, and
Yeah.
it was impressive because music in movies is usually fucking expensive, but I didn't know that fact.
It was Warner Brothers Music, so they probably owned most of it.
Brooke, what did you think of it?
Suicide Squad?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm conflicted. I don't know. I didn't really think anything of it. I guess that's kind of the best review I can give it. Is I didn't really think anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have more opinions on what other people have thought about it than what I thought about it of myself, if that makes any sense. Like, things that are
Sadly, with
genuinely
this movie,
really
it does.
upsetting me is I get that a lot of people who I feel like teenagers who were too young to see the Dark Knight series think it's like the Christopher Nolan one, think it's like the greatest thing ever. And I get angry at them, but I remember they were really too young to remember Heath Ledger, like how amazing that performance was. And I'm sorry.
And it wasn't that fucking long ago.
I love Jared. Yeah, but I mean, if you're 16 5 years ago, you were 11, So.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I'm just saying, keeping things into perspective.
No,
but
I
you
know,
are right
I know.
about that.
Well, I mean, it came out before even you and I were dating, and we've been
True.
together for 7 years. So if you're 16 now, it's most of your life.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you.
But I feel like Jared Leto is an amazing actor. I've loved him since My So-Called Life. I just think he's magnificent. But people
Right.
saying like he was as good as Heath Ledger. I'm like, no, Heath Ledger locked himself in a room. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Jared Leto went crazy too, but like Heath Ledger like studied that character and like took the time, and I feel
Right.
like really made it kind of like a three-dimensional character. And I feel like he played the character correctly. Not
Right.
that there's a correct way to play it, because I think Jack Nicholson played the character correctly for that Batman.
Right.
Like I feel like for the Batman that Tim Burton made, Jack Nicholson was perfect.
Yeah.
But I feel like for like the actual like Batman, like the Dark Knight Batman, Heath Ledger was perfect. And I guess the problem I have with Jared Leto's Joker is I feel like he doesn't fit in the world that he's supposed to. I feel like the Joker has to fit with the Batman, and Jared Leto's Joker doesn't fit with Ben Affleck's Batman. Like those
No.
they don't work together. Like, and I'm sorry, I know they cut like enough to make another movie, and I'm like, that tells you something, because what they left was not great.
No,
So hearing
it
all these
really
people
wasn't.
talk about how he was so amazing, I'm like, did I watch the same movie as
And
everybody
even
else?
Jared Leto came out publicly saying about how he was so upset about
Yeah,
how.
but he's upset because they cut him, not because like he
Well,
didn't
yeah,
think it was
but
a good movie.
In my opinion, they didn't cut enough,
Oh,
because
they
to me
should-
that was not the
honestly,
Joker.
I don't feel like the Joker needed to even
That
be
was
there.
not the Joker. All right. I've had an opinion about this since I first saw the stills, okay? First off, I don't see the Joker having a grill, okay?
Nope.
I don't see the Joker dressing up like Paul Wall having a grill. I don't see the Joker sitting still long enough to get face tattoos. Nor do I really
Half
believe
tattoos,
that...
but he'd have-
Yeah, exactly. I don't believe the Joker would sit still to have any tattoos, let alone all over his face.
Yeah.
Thirdly, this Joker that we've seen portrayed, I mean, we've seen sociopathic, psychopathic Joker. We've seen Jack Nicholson's over-the-top Joker. We've seen Mark Hamill. We've
saw
seen Mark
John-
Hamill recently.
Caesar Romero in the 60s version.
Exactly. Dude, Jared Leto wasn't even the best Joker this summer.
Yeah, he really
Considering The
wasn't.
Killing Joke came out,
really wasn't,
which is another
yeah.
review we need to do on here. He wasn't even the best Joker this summer. He was one part Penguin, one part Big Daddy Kane, and one part Kool-Aid Man.
There was just things about that. I mean, I understand they're rating their own thing, and that's the great thing about DC and Marvel is you can reinterpret it as much as you
Right.
want. But I like the scene where he was like gonna give. I know they were fucking with the guy, but they were like gonna give like Harley Quinn to someone. I feel like the Joker doesn't play with other. He doesn't want Harley. He just doesn't want anyone else to have Harley. Like,
Right.
I feel like that's the other thing. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this as a woman who's like scared for the future generation of women. We need to stop showing guys like this and making it seem romantic. I'm on a lot of fan fiction websites because I write fan fiction to keep my personal writing, like my actual writing, sharp. And I've seen a lot of like Joker and Harley Quinn, and there's a lot of really impressionable teenage girls who think it's romantic, think that storyline's romantic, and I'm like, no, we gotta stop. We gotta stop with the Edwards and the Christian Greys and the Jokers. Those are not romantic guys. You don't want to date them. You don't want to date Heathcliff. You don't want to date Romeo. Yeah, that's right. I'm going back old school. You don't want to date those guys. Those guys are bad. And I'm sorry. I'm sick and tired of seeing impressionable girls seeing these kind of guys and thinking they're romantic.
No, I totally get
it's
that.
Like it's really bugging me. And I can't speak for men. I'm not a man, so I don't know. But I can speak for women. Like, we are literally teaching a generation of girls. Like, this is it's totally okay if he treats you like shit and beats you up because he loves you. I can name 3 movies off the top of my head where that's happened. That's not good.
Go. 3 movies. Go.
50 Shades of Grey, Twilight, and now this one with Suicide Squad.
Which Twilight?
All of the Twilights.
Oh, so that's like 5 movies now.
I have no idea. It's more than one, unless. But that's the thing.
It's 5 movies now.
A good example though is like that's why I'm so happy. Something like The Hunger Games, and I'm going off on a rant, but let me just go. But something like The Hunger Games that came out, where it showed like she picked the guy who wasn't like that. She picked the guy who was just a nice guy. Like Peter was just a nice guy who just wanted to bake his bread. That's all he wanted. He didn't want to back and forth with her. He didn't want to control her. He wanted to bake bread. He was like, guys, can we all get along in the Hunger Games? I just want to bake bread. I mean, don't get me wrong, Peter was a fucking genius because I think Peter played the Hunger Games smarter than anyone else.
Right.
Because he just hid. He was just like, I'm just going to hide. But like, he just wanted to bake bread and they end up having children together. You know, like, let's show that relationship more. Or like Divergence is another one. Tristan and 4 are buddies. They get along. Like, I'm sick of guys like that, like, are like, I hate you, but I love you, but I hate you, but I love you. No, screw you. Because I spent years wasting time on guys like that because TV told me it was romantic.
Was it romantic?
No, it's horrifying. Gosh, you know what? Even Game of Thrones, the guys, don't deal with it that. There's no back and forth.
No, there really isn't.
Like, just imagine if like Jon tried that shit. Ygritte would have been like, "Okay, you need to get out of my sight."
You know nothing, Jon Snow, and you will know nothing, Jon Snow.
I will crack you in the jaw, is what she would have said. Try that shit. So that's my personal rant. That's not my promotional rant, but that really bugs me. We have to stop.
That makes sense.
Because it's
that
not
makes
just that
perfect
though.
sense.
It's like people like it's not just that. I've also seen it with like Kilgrave and Jessica Jones.
Yes, but at the same time, that was also a plot point with that, and
but people love it. They want that to be a relationship. Even
the
to
fact
a
that it
weird
was
degree,
horrible is the whole point of the series.
But that's the thing is like people misinterpret. They see pretty male actors and they think like, oh, it's romantic, and it's like, no, it's not.
No, it's
Harley
not
Quinn
romantic.
and the Joker is not romantic. Harley Quinn and the Joker is horrifying.
Yes,
and like Harley Quinn is like a better character when she's not around the Joker,
mm-hmm.
and as soon as the Joker's around, she's all like, oh my god, look at my kitties. I just think it's really sad that a woman who's a PhD, her whole, like, when you see her fantasy world, it's her as a housewife. I'm like, really? Like, that's Harley Quinn's fantasy isn't even as good as the end of Natural Born Killers, because at least they kept killing.
It's true.
Like, yes, she technically did become a wife and just had a bunch of kids, but at least they taught those kids how to kill. They kept going. Mm-hmm. I feel like Harley Quinn just wants to sit at home and, I don't know, bake. She wants to be Peter Millar. She wants to bake bread.
Now, the fact that you talked about the fantasies in her head brings us back honestly to the plot as a whole. My personal opinion of the movie is it was a fun summer flick. Was it great? No. Was it good? Not really. Was it bad? No, not really. It was fun. It was fine. But what you just said that right there brought me to one of my big qualms, and that's the completely ambiguous plot.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I still don't exactly understand what the Enchantress's point was. I mean, I enjoyed watching the journey to get there, but I really don't know what the fuck she was doing.
30 minutes of plot were cut out. That
probably because the Joker was in them.
Needed to be in there that like wasn't.
Right.
Like.
I think the lesson here is don't put Jared Leto in scenes.
It's not just
that way
us,
we can
though,
keep it in the movie.
My coworker Kelly was watching it, and I don't want to get her in trouble, but she was watching it on a broken Fire Stick. She wasn't watching. And she's like, I think I got a bad copy because like all of a sudden 30 minutes were, I'm like, no, that
was the movie.
She's like, all of a sudden
that was the movie.
She's like, they're in the compound learning, like and then in the next scene, they're like on their mission, but I never figured out what their mission was. And I'm like, no, that was all.
That was the movie.
Like, it was like Rick Flag, and June Moon are in the subway tunnel.
Yes.
And then literally the next scene, she's Enchantress, and she's like with her brother, like building a bomb.
Yep.
And I'm like, did we miss a scene?
And
somewhere?
furthermore, so Amanda Waller finds, the person that let the genie out the bottle and became Enchantress with her brother sitting right there.
Oh, by the way, spoilers.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Spoilers. Massive. Fuck, dude. Good call. Massive fucking spoilers for Suicide Squad. So she sees the Enchantress. That urn is right next to her brother. Because, no other guy has ever been destructive or anything like that. And they just leave that one there like, he'll be fine. We got this one here. Just leave that one there. You don't even think to put that motherfucker in a safe or something like that? Just to make sure nobody else releases their own little demigod? Really? And that's what leads to the inciting incident? The fact that you're just bored, you're just like,
I guess
we're good with
my
it.
big question is if Enchantress and her brother didn't go crazy, we'll say. Again, spoilers. What would the point of the Suicide Squad have been? Their mission was like a test mission to make sure that they were like...
Well, their initial mission...
was just a test mission, just to make sure that they were like compliant.
Right.
So I guess I was really confused. It's like... I feel like like I said, I know that they had to do massive reshoots and a lot of like fixing of the storyline, and
that was a fixed storyline.
Yeah.
That was a fixed storyline. Really,
I want to say a few good things, so people don't think that I'm an asshole.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Margot Robbie, I did not want to like her because I really like Harley Quinn. She was amazing. She was perfect. She was spot on casting.
And even on that, I thought that it was amazing. And we only see it for like 5 seconds,
she wore the outfit,
but we saw the onesie.
Outfit,
we saw the Harley Quinn onesie in this movie. And you know what? That right there was worth the price of admission because that was an homage to my childhood.
The only thing I do want to say, and this is just a personal thing, I feel like they could have made her costume, just her shorts, like literally an inch short, like longer. They still would have been short shorts. They still would have been booty shorts. But I feel like how short they were was like a little like impractical for fighting. I was like, guys, you basically have her in underwear.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen strippers working in a strip club that start out with shorts that are longer than those.
Yeah, like I was like, you couldn't have like made her, like she still would have been in the most sexual outfit of all. Like you couldn't have like given her like an inch more on.
Well, it's not hard to be the most sexual outfit of all.
Well, I'm just saying it's like Katana's like in a full outfit with like a sword and a mask.
And Deadshot's basically a giant walking body
Katana's
condom.
Face be like naked, but like the Harley Quinn's butt is like there's Harley Quinn's butt, and it's like Margot
Enchantress
Robbie
is over there looking like Helena Bonham Carter.
The thing is, Margot Robbie's a beautiful woman. She'd be just as hot and just as beautiful in like an inch longer shorts.
Yes.
Like it's okay. She'd still be super hot.
I can agree with that.
Like she'd still be a hottie. Like you just need to make them a little bit longer.
I can agree with that.
I thought she was amazing. I thought that Viola Davis slayed it.
Oh, she destroyed it as Amanda Waller.
Amazing.
Phenomenal. I
don't know enough about Deadshot because I don't really care about Arrow. So.
All right, here's my issue with Deadshot.
I have to say, for whatever Will Smith did, was engaged. I mean, he was a movie star. He was engaging.
Yes.
He was fun to watch. I rooted for him.
Here's my opinion on Deadshot in this movie. I like Deadshot.
I just finished one thing. The true star, though, of that movie, was that damn car the Joker's driving. That was a beautiful car.
It was a beautiful car.
Beautiful car.
But here's the thing about Will Smith as Deadshot. I liked Will Smith in this movie. He was compelling. He was fun to watch. I enjoyed every time he was on screen. But he was not Deadshot. That's the issue. So I was so conflicted. I like what I'm seeing, but you're not Deadshot. Your backstory is barely even touching what Deadshot is. Your personality does not match up, but you're fun, so I guess I can forgive it, but I can't. It was like an emotional roller coaster just watching him on the screen. Because as much as I liked it, it wasn't Deadshot to me. At all. I don't think it was Deadshot to anybody that actually knows the character.
I figured out what it is that bothered me the most about that movie.
What's that?
They have the Joker, a.k.a. Jared Leto, texting. The Joker wouldn't text Harley Quinn. He'd be like, bitch, get off my minutes.
It's true.
Because he would still have minutes because he's crazy. He'd be like, I like to live.
Bitch, get in the car. Sit in the car. And don't touch nothing.
But it's just like he's texting Harley Quinn. And I'm like, what the fuck is the Joker? The Joker doesn't even own a phone. Like, I don't even think the Joker would know what to do with a phone.
He's up on burners, player. You know
But I'm just
what?
saying, like, to me, she was, like, texting. She's like, oh, come and get me. This is basically the entire movie. Harley Quinn is like, oh, come pick me up, Joker. And he's like, hey, where you be, Harley Quinn? And it's like, I'm sorry. The clown prince of crime is all like, I'll be there in 20 minutes. I'll have a pizza.
Where my hoes at?
I haven't seen them. But, like, that's one thing that really bothered me about it. I'm like, what the fuck? The Joker would be like, bitch, stop texting me. He wouldn't even own a phone. The only reason he'd own a phone is to blow up a boat.
It's true.
Or to call
Completely
Batman.
True.
I don't know. I feel like he calls Batman a lot. I feel like they talk. He calls him. He's like, hi, Batman. Because he calls him on the bat phone. And he goes, hi, Batman. I'm going to kill you. Bye, Batman.
So what would you say about Suicide Squad?
I don't
A,
know.
B, C?
I don't know. I don't know.
I would call it a solid C.
I would say
just
the movie
because
is-
it's right there in the middle.
I feel like I need to watch it like 15. It's like that music video by Bastille I showed you, the Laura Palmer music video.
Fuck that music video. I have no idea what's going on
I
in
feel
that.
like I need to watch it like 16 more times, and one of two things will happen. I'll either not figure it out, but I'll have watched it so many times I'll be obsessed with it that I will have to watch, like, keep listening to it. Seriously, I downloaded that song, listened to it like 14 times today. Or I'll just go
would you
crazy
do that to yourself?
because I'm so obsessed with it.
It's a terrible song.
It's a great song.
It's called Laura Palmer. It has nothing to do
It's
with
about
Laura Palmer.
Palmer's last night on Earth.
No, Fire Walk With Me was about Laura Palmer's last night on Earth. This is about nonsense. It's a Snake in a Top Hat song.
Don't steal Digging a Top Hat. That's mine. I invented it. You
I'm
cannot
taking
have
the
it.
thing. It's
You
gonna be
can't
my
have
thing.
it. I think it was a snake in a top hat. That's what I think. That's my rating for Suicide Squad. Is it was
Snake
a snake in a top hat. Some people will think that's the greatest thing they've ever heard.
Mhm.
Some people will think that that's the dumbest thing they've ever heard. And some people will be like, snake in a top hat. Is this girl on crack? And then that'll be their opinion. And then they'll continue living their lives.
Now, is it like an adult, an adult male's top hat, like something that would fit on him, and just a
It's like
snake
the
curled
long-
up on it,
It's
or is it a
proportionate.
snake wearing
No,
a top?
it's a snake,
It's a snake wearing a top hat.
top hat.
It's proportionate top hat.
It's also like a big kind, like the kind the guy wears in Monopoly.
Yeah. Like real
Does
big.
he have a monocle?
He does.
Yes.
You can't have a monocle. You can't have a top hat without a monocle.
What
are we-
kind of question is that?
What are we, farmers?
And a cane? Does he have a
He
little
doesn't have a cane. He doesn't
Why
have
would he have a
any
cane?
arms.
He doesn't have a hand.
Why would he have a top hat?
Because it's
Because
nonsense.
he's a little fancy snake.
It's a metaphor for nonsense, Adrian.
It's
Then
a
why would
nonsense
he be
thing.
wearing a tux if he's a fancy snake?
He doesn't
He's
have any
not wearing a-
pants.
What are we? Farmers?
Ah.
Well done.
Nice.
Well done.
What am I, a farmer?
It's past 6. What am I, a farmer?
This conference is in February? But why are you wearing a tux? It's after 6. What am I, a farmer?
I want to watch that
I
again
love
now.
30 Rock.
I love 30 Rock.
Oh, good times.
Were you quoting 30 Rock or were you just throwing our own rant back at us?
Both.
Touche.
No. You ever noticed that these microphones are Hamilton advanced?
Yes, I have noticed that.
That's awesome.
Well, that's the stand.
I don't
The
care.
microphone itself
Doesn't
is
matter
not a
if
Hamilton.
Hamilton was on there, which is
So we've done our reviews.
woo.
Fuck the reviews. Let's get into a topic.
What topic are we going to
Let's talk about something random that has to do with one of these reviews, and that review is going to be Suicide Squad. So let's picture that we're all in the Suicide Squad, because apparently you don't have to be super fucking awesome to be in the Suicide Squad, considering they have Captain Boomerang,
I love Captain Boomerang.
who throws boomerangs
Yeah, but
and robs banks.
Are they like magic boomerangs?
No, they're not magic boomerangs. They're boomerangs.
They
They're
don't-
made of metal. They're not magic. He throws a boomerang.
Do you want to know how I envision his boomerangs? Have you ever seen H.P. Huff and stuff?
Yes.
You know the magical flute?
It's nothing like the
I
magical
feel like
flute.
they should be that. I feel like that's a missed opportunity by Disney.
It's a missed opportunity because they don't do it.
All right, it was probably just a cat.
Then you
Is-
also...
Is his name actually Captain Boomerang?
Yes.
I feel like it
And he's
is.
Australian,
Yes.
And he's Australian.
Seriously.
And he's
You're
just-
not fucking with me.
No,
I'm
he's-
not fucking with you
he's
at all.
He's
Cat,
a
that's a thing.
He's a Flash villain.
Yes.
Captain Wow. See, I think it's hilarious because I thought you were making it up. I thought he had like
No.
a real name and you're just calling him Captain
Names are
Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang, Katana. Guess what she fights with? Slipknot.
Fans.
Exactly. Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Enchantress.
Did you say Slipknot?
Yes.
Yes.
Like the band?
Oh, I wish.
No, we really wish. Slipknot can climb stuff.
Does he fight
That's
with
what he does.
he fight
climbs.
with Slipknots?
Yes. He climbs.
Basically.
With Slipknots.
He climbs with Slipknots. And in the movie, he doesn't even have a line. He runs, spoiler alert, he runs, starts climbing
The
a
thing is,
building,
that's
and
another
dies.
Character I feel like must have gotten cut because that's actually kind of a well-known actor. He was on Law and Order, SVU,
Mhm.
the greatest Law and Order of all time. Hey, speaking of Law and Order, it's technically a dick pic because it was made by Dick Wolf.
Thank you, dear.
Okay. Anyways, so like that's a big actor. So I feel like that character must have had more to him.
And he's also the only character that didn't have a backstory
they
in the
killed
montage.
him 4 seconds into meeting him. They're like, oh yeah, this guy's a random guy.
And this is Slipknot. I'm going to climb stuff. That's what'll happen to you. Really? Really?
I don't know.
Wouldn't
Oh,
it
and
have just
Croc,
have been
Killer
cheap?
Croc is
Killer
the villain.
Croc, yeah, which is a Batman villain.
Yes,
So-
I know that. I've played
Was it early on in the movie though? Were they trying to go for their own like Scream
It was about
kind of
40
moment?
It was about
No,
40
it's like
minutes
40
in.
minutes
Oh no, that is
No,
not.
he wasn't
that is
even
not a
on screen
Scream.
as long as Casey, aka Drew Barrymore's character in Scream 1.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, yeah. Casey was on screen longer than the
She's
dude that
probably
played
the best part
Slipknot.
of that movie. Not meant to review a movie that came out in like 94 or whatever. 97?
Five.
97.
Five.
But damn, Drew Barrymore is good in that role.
She's great in that
You know
role
you couldn't make Scream now because it doesn't make any sense.
because of lack of caller ID. Anyway, let's just say that
It was actually 1996.
There you go.
I looked it up. You're both wrong. But she has an excuse because she doesn't understand time.
I don't understand time. Time makes
fine. All right, I'm the jerk.
But anyways, yeah, no, it wasn't like Casey actually had like a whole like character arc. This guy was like, I climb stuff.
Oh, I feel like I should take it back. I'm still right, but Robbie, you are only off by about 11 days. It was released on December 20th, 1996. So basically 1997.
Goddamn.
Now that I've killed momentum.
Actually, he didn't do it. The baby's crying. You want to
Yeah,
go put his
I'll be right back.
pacifier in? Run.
All right, so this is the part where we say really nice things behind his back.
Oh,
And he
okay.
doesn't find out until later.
He is a very talented producer, and I'm very proud of him for how hard he's been working because he really wants to make this successful so that you don't have to work at your job anymore and I don't have to work at my job anymore and we can all live happily ever after in podcast land.
I agree. He is an amazing producer. The beats that he puts out are dope and fly.
They are dope and fly. I don't know how you can be both, but he's...
Well, it's like if you take a dope and you like put him on a plane.
Mhm.
Dope and fly.
Nice. If he was a video game, he would be GoldenEye for the N64
Ooh.
because that's a great video game.
If he was an album, he would be Jagged Little Pill.
Ooh, by Alanis Morissette. That's a great album. Well,
It is a good album.
if he was a
That's
TV
great. show,
I don't know what he'd be. He'd be all the TV shows. He'd be New Girl because he loves New Girl, and New Girl is hilarious.
If he was a movie, he wouldn't be Suicide Squad or Fantastic Four.
He would not be those things. All right, he's back. So what was he doing crying then?
Making a noise.
Well, that's
Flat out asleep.
dumb. Good thing I love that baby, but my lord,
Oh my Lanta, he is a baby.
I'm tired.
Me too. I'm exhausted.
Let's keep going though. I feel like this could be used as a weapon. Look.
It probably could.
Continue.
All right, so let's just picture we're all in the Suicide Squad. Firstly, as we are. Yes, you're a walrus. The first way is just as we are. What is our role in Suicide Squad? I mean, Adrian, can you climb shit? Brooke, can you chuck a boomerang? What the hell do we do in the
Anyone
Suicide
can
Squad?
chuck a boomerang. I don't
Because-
think that's a special skill. This is 2012, Winston. Typing is not a special skill.
The basic idea of Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad, is they assemble a whole group of supervillains to combat the superhumans and the metahumans that could turn evil. Like if Superman turned into evil version of Superman, they would have a bunch of villains with built-in culpability and deniability to take him down. And you put Harley Quinn, who's a crazy chick with a baseball bat on that team.
She's also good at gymnastics.
You put in
And booty shorts.
and booty shorts, yes. You put in Captain Boomerang, an Australian bank robber that uses
His
a
name
boomerang.
is Paxton. Love that guy.
Love that guy. You put in Slipknot, who's not even as cool as the band. He climbs stuff. So yeah, you put in Killer Croc, who's literally a Killer Croc.
I genuinely like Killer Croc.
I do too, actually. I can't really complain about Killer Croc. He's my homie.
I do. I like it.
You got Katana. You know, she's got the Soul brand. Excuse
She's
me,
at least
the
a
Soul.
fighter. The Soul Katana.
Yeah, the Soul Katana. I'm sorry, I was quoting Demon Souls with that one. The Soul brand. The Soul Eater, the Soul Taker, the Soul Sucker,
Taker.
The Soul Edge.
Soul Spanker,
Soul Edge.
the Soul. Yeah, the Soleil. Praise the sun. So I don't know. I think I could make it into Suicide Squad. What would any of our roles be in the Suicide Squad
Like
if we
me
were
as-
villains?
Me as me.
You as you. Let's do that one first, and then we'll talk about some powers.
I'd be their nonsense coordinator. I'd keep the nonsense in check.
Isn't that what Amanda Waller does?
I would be Amanda Waller's like field agent. Like
Or
I'd be
Rick
like,
Flag?
guys, let's keep the shenanigans No, Rick Flag's job is to keep them all from like killing people. My job would be to keep the shenanigans at a limited bit. I'd be like, guys. That's enough. That's enough with the pithy dialogue. Let's just get if you guys keep making pithy remarks, this is going to take 4 hours. We need to keep on schedule.
Captain Boomerang, stop giving that guy a wedgie.
Yeah. I'd be their nonsense coordinator. I'd make sure that all nonsense was appropriate. I'd be appropriate lady. I'd be in the season 6 of Community, the girl who comes. I'd be her.
All right. So the nonsense
from
Nazi.
Grandfather. Yeah. I wouldn't be the nonsense Nazi. I'd be the headmistress.
I don't know why, but when you just said headmistress, that was one of the sexiest.
And
that's one of the sexiest.
I'd be like,
things
enough with these shenanigans. We have a president to save, and they'd be all
I must have you.
That's awkward.
Okay.
And Harley Quinn would like steal the purse. I'd be like, Harley, that's not yours. You need to put that back. She'd be like, but I'm a bad guy. And I'd be like, Harley, we know. That's why we're here. Do you want your cappuccino?
So you'd be like a kindergarten teacher to the bad guys.
They kind of
that would be
it.
your. I agree with you. They need
like
it.
they kind of. That's one thing.
Would
I
you
have
be
to
engaged
say.
in any of the combat?
It's one of the
Okay.
It's one of the arguments of the movie that I totally agree with. Like these are all supposed to be adult supervillains, and they basically were just a kindergarten class. Like they were really immature.
Yep.
They were really they were all like, we're best friends forever. After like 1 minute of knowing each other, they're all like, we're best friends. And it's like, you guys are bad guys. Like
we're all in this
Batman and Superman had an entire movie where they fought, and they're the good guys, and you guys are literally the bad guys, and yet you guys are like, we're bestest friends forever. Like I'm surprised they didn't get matching tattoos and wear friendship bracelets by the end of that day. Like I'm surprised you don't see a scene of Harley like making like one of those lanyard bracelets. Like here, Deadshot, be my best friend. Like it took longer for Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman to become a team, and the only reason they became a team is because like the giant like monster came to attack them. I was like, my God, these people are so immature.
Doomsday, baby.
I feel
Doomsday.
like the kids at Max's daycare are more mature than these people. And those are babies. Like legitimate babies. He's 5 months old. They're legitimate babies. They can't even talk yet. And they're more cynical. They're more like, guys, you need to be a little bit more cynical.
Captain Boomerang? Really?
We were talking to your team, but not your chair. Not your chair. No, so that's my thing. Yes, I would be the one to keep their shenanigans in bay.
Adrian, what about you?
I don't know. All I can picture right now is babies at like a daycare going, I don't know about this guy, and like pointing, like with their head nodding to like the guy right next to the baby right next to them. Like, oh no.
Well, babies are very cynical these days.
They're raised with far too much irony.
They really are.
I blame Imagine Dragons.
I blame Yo Gabba Gabba.
I blame Bastille.
I love Bastille so much because I don't understand what's happening.
Bastille is a nonsense band. They suck.
They don't suck. They're amazing.
You don't even like Bastille.
I like Laura Palmer.
No, you don't.
I do. I've brainwashed myself.
You don't like that. You don't even like that song. The other night,
it is on my it is on my iPod.
You made me listen to that song the other night to confirm the fact that it sucks.
No, it's actually on my iPod right now, and I have listened to it 14 times. I actually I'm obsessed with it. I brainwashed myself. I gave myself Stockholm syndrome.
That's basically what it amounts to. It's your own musical Stockholm syndrome.
I had to keep watching that video to understand what was like. They were like wearing masks, and then there was a dog, and then like there was a band. I don't understand what happened.
That music video is a metaphor for Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
because there was a
really
killer croc, and there was a soul-stealing katana wielded by someone named Katana with a mask. The masks.
The music video. Laura Palmer is just Suicide Squad made into. I don't understand what's happening. Why is there a dog barking?
Why is there ATVs going on here?
That was the best part.
Yeah, it was.
They
the best
genuinely looked pimp. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for Adrian to say something.
Adrian.
Oh, I'm still here. So I did not realize that was what you were envisioning when you sent me like the little topic blurb. Because what you sent me was, how do you fit into the Suicide Squad? And I was trying to figure out what my origin story would be. Like, how did I get involved with them?
You know what? Let's do that one instead because I love that. I can edit that directly in. Yeah, no problem. So, yeah, I was a little confused for a second there. But I think the way that it would happen, I have found in the recent years of my life, most of my actions are actions of revenge. So what I end up doing is if I feel like I am underappreciated
or overworked or not given the consideration that I should be given, that is when I start taking action or inaction on certain things. Whatever it is that will piss off the person that has pissed me off. It's revenge. So the only way I would be in Suicide Squad was if I was like some like nerdy sidekick for one of the heroes, and I'm doing all their shit for them, and they're getting all the credit.
They're villains here, dude. They're not heroes.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, if I was like Batman's fucking personal assistant, and I'm fucking coordinating his life, and he's just out getting drunk and screwing supermodels and punching Jared Leto in the face, and everyone's like, "Oh, good job. You did amazing." And I'm like, I coordinated his flights. I made sure he had his clothes. I made sure that the Batmobile had full gas. Like,
Alfred?
Where's my clapping? What do I get out of this?
You'd be Alfred.
Alfred, yeah. But it sounds like a lot less thanks than Alfred.
Exactly.
It's a thankless younger version of Alfred.
So
Elfie?
That would drive me. That would drive me to the Suicide Squad, where I would then be their AV, like IT AV meeting coordinator bitch. Probably it's how it would end up.
Do you need me to teach you how to use PowerPoint?
So you'd be me at my company.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or me at my company.
Don't look at me. I'm a podcaster.
Dun,
oh.
Dun, dun, dun. I don't know how I would join the Suicide Squad. I don't. As me as Brooke, I probably wouldn't. I don't really.
Oh, let's be honest. You would. Out of anybody in this room, you're the one most based toward the Suicide Squad.
I am very noble. I've never even gotten to a fight.
Take yourself on a journey that would take you there. Like, what would have to happen to you to get you there? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I would ever join the Suicide Squad either.
I feel like anything that would happen to turn me evil would turn me into the Punisher, as opposed to like the Suicide Squad.
To be very honest with you, the Punisher, if he was made by DC Comics, would be in the Suicide Squad.
Definitely.
All of the
speaking of this, that has nothing to do with it. I have news that has to do with this. They're making a Justice League Dark movie. So
yes, they are.
Sorry.
That is one of the best things that came out of Suicide Squad. Is it opened the door for Justice League Dark, which was on the docket, then was removed from the docket, and is now back on the docket. So we're getting Constantine on the big screen without Keanu Reeves.
I love Keanu.
I like Keanu Reeves.
But not as Constantine.
I genuinely like Keanu Reeves.
He was not good as Constantine.
I feel really bad for Keanu Reeves. Like, he kind of had a really sad life. And not that we're going to talk about him, but he had a really sad life. I feel bad for him.
Well, just because you feel bad for him doesn't mean that he was good at playing Constantine.
He was good at playing Bill.
Ted.
I mean, Ted. He was
whichever
good at
one.
He was the one.
Ted Theodore Logan.
Esquire.
Yeah. It was Bill S. Preston, Esquire.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
And Ted Theodore Logan.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Oh, you're getting schooled on the air.
All right, I figured out the circumstance that would make you turn into the make you be a part of the Suicide Squad. You run into the writer/director of the Saw franchise.
Oh, that motherfucker. Oh. But all my hatred would be like him based, and I would be like, this is called logic, you stupid face. Okay? Things don't always work. Something would go. I'm sorry. No, I have to save this rant. I have to save it. I have to save it for
All right,
Halloween.
so you've run into him. Oh. Amanda Waller has seen this, and she's been like, damn! She looks from side to side. She goes, what? I says, bitch.
Yes.
And you get recruited to the Suicide Squad. How do you fit in there? Is that your origin there?
I'm the headmistress still. I haven't changed who I am.
No, I mean, is that your origin story? Does she catch you that way?
I feel more like I applied on evilmonster.com, like antimonster.com, or like promonster.com. Because this would be promonster.com for like the job, and they'd give it to me. The way I've gotten all my jobs, they'd be like, "Oh, so I see you do community theater." Explain that. That's just how I've gotten all my jobs. So I feel like it'd be more like I'd like see like Suicide Squad or Anti-Hero Squad needs a secretary, and then I'd and I'd apply, and they'd be like, "Oh, I see you do community theater. Do you know so and so?" And I'd be like, "I do know him. I did Jesus Christ Superstar with him. I bro hugged Jesus," and that's how I'd get the job.
Interesting.
That would be my origin. So I want to see that written in comic form now.
I kind of do too. Drawn by Brian O'Malley.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. The dude that made Scott Pilgrim. I want to see that.
They'd be like, we really need someone who can file and knows QuickBooks. I was like, and also is evil. I was like, I know evil QuickBooks. I feel like I'm closer to Dr. Horrible and his sing-along blog than I could ever be to like Suicide Squad.
Right.
Like I joined by like, random happenstance. Because you have to apply to the Evil League of Evil. You have
It's
to
true.
apply. You have to write a list. So
On my end, the people that know me best would call me at times a touch, not a lot, but a smidge irrationally angry.
he's the Nick Miller of my life.
So I honestly think that I would just appear at the Suicide Squad. Like, I would just have my Spidey sense and know exactly where
Wrong
they're supposed to
franchise,
be.
wrong franchise, wrong universe. You can't have a Spidey sense in DC.
You can have a Spidey sense.
Nope. Woo, woo, woo. That's the DC Marvel alarm bell. Woo, woo, woo.
I know
Okay.
how it actually happened for you, Robbie, but I want you to finish your incorrect theory first.
I would just say that I just stumble across them, I crack a couple of jokes, and then I just start, hunting down Kanye.
Well, to be fair, they're 7-year-olds, so they'd probably be like, "That guy's they'd be Destiny." You say your name, and they say our name, and then you're friends.
Isn't that basically what happened in
Yes.
Suicide Squad?
And that was our 6-year-old niece, who I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure is the most adorable thing besides Max.
It's true. All right, Adrian, wise guy, how do you think that I would join the Suicide Squad?
Well, here's the thing. I think I don't know necessarily that you're if you have the balance of good and evil, and then there's that little gray area in the middle. I wouldn't say that you're necessarily you're not a saint, but you're not an evil person. Suicide Squad is kind of bad people, right?
Right, pretty much.
Right? Pretty
Yes.
much. And I don't think that you're a bad person. So I think something would have to push you that way. There's something that would have to push you into that rumble for you to even think of joining up with them. So I don't think you just wander. I don't think you waltz up "Hey guys, how's it going? I'm gonna be Suicide Squad now."
When the hell did I turn into a cowboy?
When I moved to Texas, that's when it happened.
Okay.
Oh man, do I have a Texas accent now? That's bad. All right, doesn't matter. Off
Hey
topic.
guys, how you doing? I'm gonna join them their Suicide Squads.
I'm gonna join y'all up in that there Suicide Squad. But so I think what would happen is there is a hero who saves the world, right?
Right.
And as a token of respect, the entire world decides to honor him because he's from Hawaii and all pizzas are now only Hawaiian. And that would push you evil.
Oh,
and you would join
God.
Suicide Squad.
That would put me over the edge so quickly. Nothing would be safe. Nations would cower. All would bow before my wrath.
What did they say? Pizza no longer exists?
No, all pizza is now Hawaiian.
Dun dun dun.
All would bow before me or face annihilation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
Right?
No.
See?
But
no.
there's an
I
easy way
know.
to combat that. You can just pick off the pineapple.
But it's not the same. The pineapple soaks into the crust.
You just pick it off. I don't want to pick it off. Well, I'm just saying.
Have you ever told a vegan that they can just pick the meat off their pizza?
I
And
have
the cheese, I
don't know-
guess.
I don't
I
know
have
any
done that.
vegans, so
I
no.
have.
Do they ever do that? Or they ever "Oh yeah, that makes it all better"?
No, they get self-righteously angry.
Exactly. It's the same thing with pineapples and Hawaiian pizza.
And the thing is, I love pineapples and I love pizza, but
Yep.
don't put your
There's
pineapples
also
on my
ham.
pizza.
There's also ham on pineapple.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, but I can deal with some ham on the pizza, just not a ham pizza. If you want to put some ham on a pepperoni and meatball pizza, that's fine. I'm down. But keep your damn pineapples off my pizza. Don't you dare put them on.
I'm not.
I appreciate that. That's why I married you. You keep the pineapples off the pizza.
Yeah.
When we meet, I'm gonna make sure we go to a pizza place, and I'm gonna have them bring out a Hawaiian pizza first,
Oh.
just to fuck with you.
Oh.
It's not gonna be a surprise anymore unless we don't meet for a long time. But yeah, ooh, that'll be fun.
I'd like to make it sometime within the next year.
I think so.
You guys can plan your date on another time, I think.
That's true. Well, I don't know. I think that kind of encapsulates our secret origins for joining the Suicide Squad, don't you think?
Yes, I just joined.
You just walked in. You're just like, I want it.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm gonna join Suicide Squad.
I feel like they don't really tell you no. I'd be like, oh, I want to join for dental and a reasonable health rate.
Right.
I mean, if they offered health insurance, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm joining the Suicide Squad. Free dental. What? I feel like that's really sad, but a lot of people would join the Suicide Squad.
I think you're right.
Free comprehensive, free birth control. Cha-ching. I would do anything the Suicide Squad asked. I would carry their weapons.
I'm surprised neither of you were going into that to be like their wardrobe coordinator, because you were shitting all over their outfits and their
just Harley Quinn's, and I'd be like, that would be mommy. That'd be the mommy in me. I'm like, you're gonna get a cold, young lady.
It's the mother in me.
You put your pants on, okay? You don't go out the house like that. I don't care that you're an evil. I don't care that you're an evil supervillain. Or you know what boys think when they see you dressed like that. No one's gonna respect you if your butt cheeks are hanging out.
It's true.
Put on some pants, the young lady. Put on some pants. There's a reason they made Ruby in Once Upon a Time like change her outfits, because no one respected her, and she was a werewolf.
On that note, it's almost time to close the book for this week, but I think what we need to do is flip to the last page.
Whoa, what is it?
It's the Femotional Rants.
Yay! That's about me. Okay, so my Femotional rant this week actually ties into Suicide Squad, in the sense that, like, something that's always upset me about Batman is Arkham Asylum, and here's why. Everyone always leaves Arkham Asylum looking better. Like, they always look nice. So I've officially decided that Arkham Asylum is actually just a day spa where Batman, like, drops them off for a couple of weeks, and they get their clothes fixed, and they get their hot stone massages, and the Joker's totally getting facials. You know he is. Like, for de-stressing, because he really needs that. This is his time. This is the Joker's time. Okay.
And you know what? His suits always do come out looking fresh pressed every time.
I think that they do like hot wax on the Killer Crocodile guy there to keep his scales nice. They descale him like a fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the Riddler, I feel like he takes that time to read, because that's his time.
Right.
That's his time to read. So I've decided that Arkham Asylum is actually just Arkham Day Spa. And it really bothers me or my second theory about Arkham is actually like, no one ever seems to go to like court in the Batman world. Like, they all just go straight to Arkham. And I'm like, is there no due process in Gotham? So I've also decided that Gotham is not really a real city. Bruce Wayne went crazy when his family, like, died.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a whole other rant. Where the fuck is Cousin Ray Ray? Where is Cousin Ray Ray? But that's a different rant for a different day. So anyway, but Bruce Wayne went crazy when his family, like, I think he murdered his family, because he's crazy.
His family was killed in Crime Alley.
Was it, though?
It was.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Do you know that for a fact?
I do.
You sure it's not just an invention of Bruce Wayne's brain?
Bruce Wayne's
Bruce Wayne's brain? He's a billionaire. This is what I think. I think he went crazy, built this fake city with all this, and just like stole people from like Metropolis. That's why him and Superman don't get along. And then like he pretends that they're criminals, and then he just like spends his whole time like throwing them into Arkham, and then he lets them out to like chase them again so he can catch them and throw them into Arkham, and just keeps going and going.
So the whole mentality is like, man is the most dangerous game.
Yeah, it's basically just the most dangerous game. He just keeps hunting this because he only seems to catch the same 17 people. You'd think that the Joker would be... I mean, my good lord, people have gotten 3 strikes, you're out for marijuana. The Joker has literally burned stuff to the ground, and they're like, he only needs 10 years. He's fine. He never gets a lifetime sentence. I mean, he does, but he's always out. So either one of the few things has to happen. Either it's just a day spa, Bruce Wayne is funding the whole thing, just for his own weird delusions, or whoever the city planner is of Gotham is really misappropriating funds, because their security system is terrible at Arkham. I mean, my God, people. Like, how is it that easy to break out? You know how hard it is to break out of prisons? I mean, like, one person broke out of, like, Azkaban. One person broke out of Alcatraz, which was real. But, like, they, like, just leave at their leisure. They just leave. They're just like, okay, guys, it's been great. Steve, Connie, I'll see you next time. Mary, let's talk about a different color scheme for me next year. I really feel like green is no longer working. I'll see you guys later.
Was that supposed to be Poison Ivy?
No, that was supposed to be the Joker.
Oh, my mistake. Well, Poison Ivy's clothes are green.
She's made of a plant. I don't think she can be any other color. She's literally a plant person. What color do you want her to be? I think, they go. I really feel like Harley gets her nails done.
Uh-huh.
She just, like, and I feel like the Joker, I just feel like he has so much, he works so hard. He deserves this. And that's his time. That's why Batman never goes into Arkham, because that's their time.
See, I don't think the Riddler has time for reading. All I'm going to say, he has to be planting millions of question mark trophies all over the city. He's got no fucking time to sit down and read.
That's why he goes to the spa to relax. I feel like he gets a good massage. He really recharges his batteries with a good massage. I feel like maybe he probably treats himself with a man massage, like a manscape, a man manicure. And then he goes back out and plants his question marks all throughout Arkham. But seriously, how is it that easy to escape? Like, I understand it's not real. And like, oh, they have magic. No, they don't. They don't have magic. The Joker's magic is like crazy. I mean, my God. My God, people. If he was a real person, he'd be that weird guy talking on the street corner.
It's true.
My God, people. Someone needs to slap the Joker. Why doesn't whoever just slap him? Just shut up, Joker. Go back to Day Spa. You need a massage. I need a massage. I need to go to Arkham Day Spa now. I need a massage. But anyways, that's why Harley's hair always looks like her hair always looks good. Why does her hair always look good?
Arkham Day Spa.
Another one, Poison Ivy, always looking, as the children say, on fleek. Always looking on fleek. I don't know what that means, but I like saying it. They always look good. Their outfits and their outfits and their like weapons are always color coordinated, so you know there's some kind of like fashion designer,
right?
Like seriously, always. They probably have like training sessions while they're there, just to keep sharp.
Of course,
because as you do, and I feel like they just enjoy. That's their time. They take the time for themselves. And you know what? As a fan of Batman villains, I really think they deserve it. They work really hard. I mean, Gotham has a higher crime rate than Detroit. Or I'm pretty sure, like, dangerous, like, Fallujah. And also, why does anyone live in Gotham? One final thing. Why does anyone live there? Like, screw that. I'm moving to, like, Central City. At least the Flash villains are interesting. They don't just, like, murder me and burn me alive. They're like, oh, I'm going to steal money with my boomerang.
A emotional rant by Brooke. All right, guys, that's pretty much all the time that we have for you this week. We'll be back again next week with so many trailers. So many trailers are coming out. Until next time, I've been Robbie.
I'm occasionally Brooke sometimes.
And I'm Adrian.
Let's close the book on this.